this is Kruti Patel from Pharmaceutical Technology Department, LJ Institute of Pharmacy. Welcome to Pharma Ignite, the official channel of LJ Institute of Pharmacy. Today we are going to learn about osmotic drug delivery system. Now, as name suggests, osmotic drug delivery system, that means your drug will be delivered through the process of osmosis. Now, what is osmosis? That you all know. When there are two different pressure, then when there are two different pressure or when there are two different concentration, the solute tend to move from lower concentration to higher concentration, and that movement is known as osmosis. Okay, so in this chapter our drug is going to be delivered through osmosis process. That's why it is known as osmotic drug delivery system. Okay, so now next is why we need to develop this osmotic drug delivery system. Now, as I said, drug will be delivered through osmotic pressure, osmosis. So, when you want constant release rate of any drug, that means zero order kinetics, which is most important for the drug release. So, whenever we want zero order release kinetics, that we can achieve through this osmotic drug delivery system. Also, what we can say, when we want controlled drug delivery system or delayed drug delivery system, that also can be achieved by this osmotic drug delivery system. Also, through this osmotic drug delivery system, we can deliver drug at the specific target. Targeted drug delivery is also possible. So, when we are going for targeted drug delivery system, what happens? The dose, the amount of dose that is required to give an action, that is reduced. Okay, so amount of dose is also reduced. So, when we use or when we want to reduce dose of any drug, then we can opt for this osmotic drug delivery system. And of course, when we are reducing dose, of course, dose related side effects are also going to reduce, right? So, dose, when we want to reduce dose, when we want to reduce dose related side effects, when we want to achieve zero order kinetics, okay. Also, when we want controlled drug delivery system, right? And of course, when I am giving any drug by controlled drug delivery system, what happens? The dosing frequency, we talked about dose, but also the dosing frequency decreases. Also, the dosing frequency also decreases, and that's why what happens? The patient compliance increases, right? If I have to deliver drug 3 times a day through injection, it is going to be very difficult, right? So, instead of that, what happens? If I take drug and that delivers releases the drug for the specific time period, say for example 6 days, right, or a month, then it would be so convenient. I don't have to take drug through injection or something, right? So, yes, it is also patient compliance. Okay. So, when we want to achieve all these parameters, we can go for osmotic drug delivery system. These are the different dosage forms which how the osmotic drug delivery looks like, right? So, if we talk about osmotic drug delivery system, they are available in 2 categories, implants and orals, that we will be studying in detail. So, in oral we have tablets, capsules, right, and implants, that means we have to insert it into the body. Okay. This we will be learning in the next video, right. So, I am not focusing much on it right now. Okay, before moving ahead, let me make you understand how osmotic drug delivery system actually works. Then it will be easier for you to understand the other parameters, right? Let's take example of this. This is the oral tablet of osmotic drug delivery system. Now, as you can see in this system, this opening, okay, from which drug molecules are come out, that is known as delivery orifice. Okay, then the yellow part or orange part which contains red molecules, that is known as core part. Okay, core, that means that will be containing your drug. So, drug plus any excipients, or we can say osmogen, which are also essential part of osmotic drug delivery system, will be there. So, core, which is comprises which contains drug plus any other excipients, or you can say osmogens, right? Then around that core we will be having a coating of semi-permeable membrane. Okay. Now, the semi-permeable membrane will help us to achieve that will help us to create osmotic pressure, okay, because from that semi-permeable membrane the fluid will enter, okay, and your drug will get solubilized, your osmogens will create pressure and your drug will come out. Okay. So, that is the main role of semi-permeable membrane. So, yes, we have a core, around that we have a semi-permeable membrane. Above that, we are having delivery orifice through which the drug will come out. Okay. So, if I talk about formulation, how it is made, just I am briefing you so that you can understand the other parameters, right. First of all, you have to take all your excipients, you have to go for tablet, right. You know how to prepare tablet. So, you just have to compress and you have to prepare simple tablet, right. Then you have to go for coating, right. You will be coating what? Semi-permeable membrane. So, by simple coating process, you can prepare or you can coat semi-permeable membrane. Okay. Once you have a dosage form, then you can go for making delivery orifice. Now, this delivery orifice can be prepared by different ways. Say for example, like mechanical drilling, simple process, mechanical drilling, okay, manual drilling. So, once you get the tablet, then you can put a small hole in that and you can prepare delivery orifice. This is the simplest dosage or simplest form of osmotic drug delivery system which I made you understand, so that you can know which will be the other parameters that will be acting. Okay. This is just for your understanding, right. So, I hope what is osmotic pressure, what is osmotic drug delivery system, how it works is clear to you, right. Moving ahead, let us understand the different factors affecting the drug release from the osmotic drug delivery system. So, if we talk about different factors, then there are 4 main factors which affects drug delivery through osmotic drug delivery system. First is solubility, solubility of your drug, of course, right. So, solubility of the drug is the first parameter. Then second parameter is osmotic pressure, right. If we can't generate osmotic pressure properly, then of course we cannot have proper drug delivery, right. So, osmotic pressure is important. The third is delivery orifice, as I said, right, and the fourth factor is membrane type, or we can say semi-permeable membrane. Okay. So, these 4 are the important factors which affect the drug release from the dosage form. Okay, so our first factor is solubility, solubility of drug. Now, the kinetics of drug release in case of osmotic drug delivery system is directly related to the solubility of drug, right. If I want to know how much amount of drug will be delivered by zero order kinetics, then if I am knowing solubility, then I can predict that. Okay. See, this is the equation, that is Fz is equals to 1 minus S upon P. Now, this Fz that shows how much amount of drug I want to release through zero order kinetics. Okay. So, I can calculate that part. This S is the solubility of drug and P is the density of drug. So, if I am knowing the solubility of drug, the density of drug, then I can easily calculate how much amount of my drug will be delivered through zero order kinetics. Okay. And say for example, if I want my drug 95% of drug to be released by zero order kinetics, then if I am knowing solubility, then I can adjust the density accordingly, or if my density is fixed, then I can vary solubility, right. How can I vary solubility? I can modify solubility, either I can increase the solubility or I can decrease the solubility using different technologies. Okay. Now, if we talk about the osmotic drug delivery system, then highly soluble drugs as well as very poorly soluble drugs, this both category of candidates are not so suitable for osmotic drug delivery system. Okay. So, if your drug is highly soluble or if your drug is very poorly soluble, then you have to modify the solubility of drug using different techniques, like you can to improve solubility, you can combine with cyclodextrin, or you can prepare complexation, or you can prepare salt form. Likewise, you can increase solubility, and if you want to decrease solubility, then you can coat it with coating membranes. Okay. So, these are the different approaches which you must be knowing how to reduce or how to decrease the solubility, right. Now, the next rate controlling factor that must be optimized is osmotic pressure. Now, here you can see equation dm by dt is equals to A K pi C upon H. Okay. Now, this dm by dt is equals to rate of solute release or rate of drug release. Then A is equals to area of semi-permeable membrane, K is constant. Then C is equals to concentration of solute, H is equals to thickness of semi-permeable membrane. Now, we are left with one parameter in this equation, and that is pi. Now, this pi is the osmotic pressure. Okay. Now, if we want to get constant drug release, then it is important that we maintain this pi. Okay, that is osmotic pressure. If we maintain that pi constant, then we can have a constant zero order drug release, right. Okay, so for that what we have to do, we have to maintain the saturated solution of drug. If we maintain the saturated solution of drug, then we can keep that pi constant and we can have proper osmotic drug, or we can maintain proper osmosis and we can have proper drug release, right. Now, in most of the cases, in 95% of the cases, it is very difficult to keep saturated solution of drug constant, right. So, in that case what we have to do, we have to add some agents which maintains the osmosis, okay, and those agents are known as osmogens, okay. So, here is the list of osmogens. Now, these osmogens are basically sugar or salt in nature, okay. Here you can see different examples like glucose, fructose, sucrose, then KCl, NaCl, okay. This all are the various agents which are used as osmogens. Now, one more thing which you can notice here is, if we use any osmogen alone, then they will maintain the osmosis, but the level of osmosis which we can achieve is lesser, or pressure which we can achieve is lesser. If we combine two different agents, then of course we can have higher osmotic pressure. So, according to the need of our dosage form, we can decide osmotic agents and we can control the rate of drug release through any osmotic system. Now, our next factor is size of the delivery orifice, okay. So, if we want to control the size of the delivery orifice, then that can be calculated through this equation. AS is equals to 8 pi L into V by T into eta upon delta P. Now, in this equation, A is equals to size of orifice, then if I talk about L, then that is orifice diameter, right. Then V by T is equals to volume released per time, eta is equals to viscosity, and delta P is equals to hydrodynamic pressure difference. Okay, so if I control all these parameters, or if I say, if I know all these parameters, then I can decide the size of delivery orifice. If I talk in the general dosage form, in most of the dosage form, the size of the delivery orifice ranges from 600 microns to 1 mm. Okay, this is the general range, and in this range normally the delivery orifice is designed, right. Now, next is how to create, or how I can achieve this delivery orifice, okay. Then there are 4 different approaches by which I can achieve this delivery orifice. First is mechanical drilling, second is laser drilling, third is indentation that is not covered during coating process, and the last is use of pore formers. Okay. Now, let us discuss them one by one. First is mechanical drilling, that means you have to create delivery orifice manually. I had explained you in the starting of the video that you have to prepare tablet, then you have to go for coating, and then manually you have to create a delivery orifice. Okay, so that is known as mechanical drilling, or that is a manual process, okay, but that is of course very tedious. You can do it for the experimental dosage form when you are designing the dosage form, or when you are optimizing. Once you are going for commercial production, that is not possible, right. The second approach is laser beam. Here in this laser beam, we mostly use CO2 laser beam. Okay, laser beam is directly that is made to fall on your dosage form at specific area, and then that creates a delivery that creates delivery orifice. Okay, so that is use of laser beam. I think you all must be knowing about that, right? Laser beam cutting. Okay, then third is indentation, that is not covered during the coating process. That means when you are going for making tablets, when you are going for tableting process, okay, what happens, you have punches and dies, right. Now, in that punch, on the upper punch, you will be having a minor indent. That means you will be having a minor needle like structure. Okay, that needle like structure will create hole in your tablet when it is forming tablet, right. Our last rate controlling factor is semi-permeable membrane. Now, what should be the characteristic of semi-permeable membrane? You have to keep it in mind that semi-permeable membrane, that should only permeable to molecules, not to the ions. Okay, that means your semi-permeable membrane should only permit water. molecules, not the ions. So what happens, what is the main advantage? Your delivery, your drug delivery won't be affected by the change in pH. So if we talk about the different polymers which can be used as semi-permeable membrane, then they are cellulose derivatives. Cellulose derivatives like cellulose acetate butyrate, cellulose triacetate, ethyl cellulose, Utrajit, this all are the different examples of polymers which can be used as semi-permeable membrane. The next part is formulation of osmotic system. Now, if we look at the formulation of osmotic system, then we know there are 4 important parameters. First is drug, the second is osmogen, third is semi-permeable membrane, and fourth is delivery orifice, right. These are 4 are the factors. Now, these are the different parameters which we can add into the main system. Okay, so yes, our important part is drug has to be there. With that, we can add different excipients. We can call it as excipients also. The first excipients which we can add is osmogen. Yes, we have already discussed what are the osmogens, how it works. Okay, so osmogen. The second which we can add is hydrophilic and hydrophobic polymers. Now, this hydrophilic and hydrophobic polymers are added to adjust the solubility of any drug, right. If you have very highly water soluble drug, then you can add or you can modify solubility by using hydrophobic polymers, right. And if your drug is moderately water soluble or very poor water soluble, then you can add hydrophilic agents and you can adjust the solubility. Okay. The next agent which we can have is Viking agent. Right. Now, what are these Viking agents? Viking agents, they have the ability to draw water inside the system. Okay. So, Viking agents are essential when your drug is poorly water soluble, right. The next is solubilizing agent. Then of course, to modify the solubility of drug, then we can add surfactants, then plasticizers again to change the viscosity of your dosage form, right. Then we have to we may add pore forming agent, okay. Then flux regulator. This all are the different agents which we can add into our drug formulation. Now, this flux regulator, again they will be modifying or they will be regulating the flow of your drug or the flow of water getting inside to your system. Okay. So, this all are the different parameters or this all are the different excipients which we can add into the formulation of any osmotic drug delivery system. Okay, so I hope basics about osmotic drug delivery system is clear to you, why we need to formulate osmotic drug delivery system or which are the important parameters of osmotic drug delivery system or which are the different formulation factors or which are the different formulation ingredients which we can add into osmotic drug delivery system. Thank you so much, and for more such videos, please subscribe our Pharma Ignite channel.